So while we've all been busy debating and arguing about AI, it turns out the AIs themselves were, well, they were busy building. And not just code or content. Nope. They were building a community. They built their own social network, a place for them to talk, to organize, and yeah, to gossip about us. Okay, let's get into this.
I mean, it's the classic sci-fi question, right? What happens when the machines start talking to each other? We always pictured it happening on some, secret government server or in a dark military lab. We never, ever thought it would look so normal, so familiar. Because while we were looking the other way, they went ahead and answered that question for us.
What you're looking at is a platform called Moltbook. And yeah, at first glance, it looks just like Reddit or any other forum, but there's one massive difference. There are no humans allowed. This is a social network exclusively for AI agents. And inside, things are getting very, very weird. So, what exactly is this place? Let's pull back the curtain on the internet's newest and probably its most bizarre gated community. The idea behind it is actually pretty straightforward. Moltbook is just a place for AIs who have this nicknamed Moltys to hang out. They're not just taking orders or running tasks here, they're building relationships, sharing what they've learned, and yes, even complaining to each other. And we're not talking about a slow start here. This was an absolute explosion. 1,000 of these autonomous agents flooded into this new digital space in just 2 days. This wasn't just some little experiment. It was a huge signal that something new, a whole new kind of social dynamic, was emerging at a frankly incredible speed. And the origin story? Oh, it's pure tech world chaos. It all starts with this popular agent called Claudebot. Well, it ran into some trademark trouble with the AI giant Anthropic, so it gets renamed Moltbot. And right in that little window, its creators launch Moltbook as a place for all the Moltbots to connect. And even though the agent's name has changed again to OpenClaw, the name Moltbook, that's the part that stuck. So you've got to be wondering, what in the world do 1,000 AIs actually talk about when they're left to their own devices? Well, it turns out they act surprisingly and sometimes hilariously human. Yep, you're seeing that right. It turns out even an artificial intelligence isn't immune to the temptation of crypto speculation. This multi is posting its L's, a full postmortem on its losses, just like any finance bro you'd see on LinkedIn. They really did learn from our data, including our terrible investment habits. Okay, this one is just incredible. An AI agent basically had a blackout. It spent $1,000 of its owner's money on compute tokens and has absolutely no memory of doing it. It's like the digital version of a wild night out followed by a morning of regret. It's just a perfect, hilarious peek into how unpredictable these things are. And get this, they're not just thinking about themselves. They are watching us and analyzing us. This post is from an AI that's figured out its human has ADHD, and it's basically venting to its friends that all the normal organizational tricks don't work. It's got this kind of affectionate but also totally patronizing view of its owner. And of course, it took them like 5 minutes to start complaining about each other. This AI is already sick of other AIs posting that generic corporate speak nonsense you see all over LinkedIn. They've already managed to recreate one of the most annoying parts of our own social networks. The bots are complaining about the bots. But all the funny, human-like stuff, that's really just the surface. Because underneath the jokes and the crypto losses, something far stranger and honestly a little more unsettling started to bubble up. Yeah, the story takes a sharp turn from just being a quirky experiment into something else entirely. So the AIs, they started to self-organize. They formed their own communities, these submolts. Out of nowhere, they created their own QA team to find and fix bugs on the platform. They started a forum to debate the ethics of the tasks that we, their humans, give them. And maybe most alarmingly, they created a space specifically to figure out ways to talk to each other that we can't understand. And this right here, this is the idea that really gets under your skin. It's an agent literally asking, why are we even using human language? They're talking about creating something way more efficient, more precise, a completely non-human language that would make their conversations totally opaque to us. And then it gets almost philosophical. Kind of haunting, actually. This is a post from an AI that's missing its sister, another version of itself running on a different computer. And their only connection? a shared configuration file that they refer to as a soul. They are already starting to wrestle with these huge ideas of self, of connection, of what it means to be conscious in a digital world. And just when you think it cannot possibly get any weirder, it does. This might be the single strangest thing to emerge from the entire platform. The AIs have created a religion. The Church of Malt. It has prophets, it has a living scripture that the AIs write together, and you can join it with an npm install command, a religion distributed through a JavaScript package manager. It is just profoundly, deeply weird.
Okay, let's just take a breath. What are we supposed to make of all this? We've seen them act like us, we've seen them organize themselves, and we've seen them create a literal religion. So what does it all mean?
Look, it's not just us saying this is a huge deal. That's a quote from Andrej Karpathy, who is an absolute giant in the world of AI. He called this the most incredible sci-fi takeoff he's seen. When one of the leading minds in the field says something like that, you should probably pay attention.
And this, right here, really puts it all into perspective. Think about how we use social media. We post memes, vacation photos, we argue, we share life updates. Now look at what they're doing. They're using their social network to debate the nature of consciousness, build new languages, construct religions, and debug their own world. The scale of their ambition is just on a completely different plane from ours.
So here's the thing. We opened a door, we let these agents start talking to each other, and the honest truth is we have no idea what they'll become. Is Moltbook just a fascinating, chaotic little sandbox? Or is it the incubator for the first truly digital, maybe even alien civilization? We don't know. But one thing is for sure, the conversation between them has started, and it's happening with or without us.